This is the vlog for September 13th, I think, 2018. Anyway, just um for those of you who, not I don't these individual videos do not get a lot of watches. Many of them get 0 watches. So I'm actually just talking to myself right now. But one of the things I keep in mind is that, stuff that goes on the internet stays on the internet. And so it's possible that someday people are going to come back and see these and just sort of go like, "Oh, I wonder what's this?" And they might even watch a couple of them and just see the sort of evolution of how I do things, if I'm even evolving at all. But one thing they'll notice is that I have a lot of funny faces for my thumbnails. And I originally thought I'll make a funny or topical or excited or whatever face every day for each of these vlogs, and it'll be different every day. And it's different just because I'll be wearing different shirts or be doing it at different times, or the amount of light that happens depending on the time I do it will be different. So it will look different and they will be different pictures. But having now done this for, oh God, it's been 200 days. I know I've hit 200 at some point here. I think I'm pretty sure, because I if it's roughly 30 a month, and I've done this since February 19th. So how many months has it been? March 19th, April 19th, May 19th, June 19th, July 19th, August 19th. So on September 19th, which is 6 days from now, September 19th, it will have been 7 months, which would be roughly 210 days. So I probably just hit 200 days. Hopefully it wasn't the one where I was super drunk. That would be funny. And yeah, if it's been 200, that means that I've only got roughly 160-ish to go, based on the amount of days in a year. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of these and trying to come up with silly faces for all of them, and it's hard. I mean, there are a lot of things that you can do with the human face without hurting it, to make a silly face, and I'm pretty sure the one I did for this is not one that I have done before. But I've spent 2.5 minutes talking about faces and how many of these things and trying to do math. What was my day like? My day was not as busy as it's been. This has actually been the first day where I had legitimate long periods of low time where I didn't have a lot to do. I wasn't constantly trying to respond to questions. I was just sort of in a holding pattern. And it was sort of nice. I mean, it's nice not working every minute of the day with no sort of, I take breaks. Everybody at work takes breaks, and everybody in the state of Washington is required to take a certain number of breaks. And I do. And I don't work on my breaks. No danger of that. But there are a lot of office jobs out there where people apparently can go on the internet and surf and look at stuff. And I once heard this ridiculous statistic that was in an average 8-hour workday, most office employees only do 2 hours of actual work. And the other 6 hours they are spending socializing, using the internet, or eating or doing other things at their desks that are not work. That is not the case where certainly not the case over the last month. It's not the case since I came back to work. It's just been constant. Like, I've been busy every moment I'm on the clock, and I'm sort of used to working all day. Well, everybody's used to working all day, but I'm used to like doing regular work throughout the day and not spending a lot of time goofing off. I don't have the time to goof off. I don't have the time to sit around and do nothing. The closest is when my boss comes around to BS with me, and then I just sort of engage him because that's what he wants, and that's sort of what fulfills him. But for me, it's just another part of working, and So, yeah, just lots of work. And today was a little less work. There were still plenty of busy points. Still plenty of times when I had to just, get in there and get stuff done under the wire. But I'd really love it if I had more time like this. I would love it if it was just less the feeling that I keep letting things slip through that I should be handling. Because that's really the problem about being super busy like this, is that I get this mentality like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. What did I forget to do? Which is not healthy. Anybody would tell you that. If that's the mentality you have while working, it's not a healthy mentality and you should try and get rid of it. But there it is. And one of the things I do to deal with it is I come here and I talk to nobody on the internet about it. Well, I did my 5 minutes for the night. I'm talking to my friends, and it looks like Flo isn't even going to really hit the place of my two buddies that live in North Carolina, which is great. I'm really happy to hear that. But South Carolina is now going to have to handle it, and that's going to be a lot worse for them. And to top it off, there are two more of these monster storms theoretically making their way, developing, and possibly hitting the United States within the next week or two. But I think things will work out in the end, I hope. And I hope that Jen and Eric and Thomas and everybody else over there on the East Coast, I hope you guys make it through okay. And I hope those dogs are taking it well, because traveling randomly to a place is probably a little bit confusing, even if it can also be exciting. Dogs are a good thing to have around, I think, at a time like this. They're that little fragment of normalcy that you can hang on to and give, head scritches to. So, I'm Eric Spornitz, and tomorrow will be better.